Hello, hi, it's me again. I've just woken up, so like you can see I'm a bit meh, and the lighting might not be so good, but I can't really do bright lights so early in the morning. Um, yeah, I've had something on my mind. Well, actually, it's been on my mind for a few years now, but you know when it's just like now, I just feel like talk, talk. Um, I don't want to depress you all, but honestly, this shit's real. It's real, and we can't flipping ignore it. That's basically it. Um, like I've just been really thinking, it's just how rich Africa actually is. Like it's incredibly rich. So it's got all the resources. Like if you see on the Facebook page, I am Facebook page, I did post this video basically thinking like, what if Africa was one big country? And I was like, oh my god, that'd be amazing. One country. I'll be like, I got really excited. I even just said like all the resources, like we're so rich. We are so rich. We'd be fine. Like you know, and it just really frustrates me that one of the richest countries in the world has so many the people are actually starving, you know, homeless, you know, the situation's so bad, one of the worst in the world, like the poorest in the world, and it's due to the flipping government, like and corruptness, and and it's frustrating really that they're just giving it all away. Sorry. But they're like giving it all away. They're literally just giving it all away to the Western world, where you know these happen to be people that are just going around destroying forests, you know, like just creating destruction wherever they go. Like if you think about history, like they've gone around, they've like taken over this country, that country, you know, just killed so many people. They've been responsible for a lot of genocides, but like, you know, sneakily, you know, making it seem like other people are, just little things like that. Like these are, the West world is sneaky. Like how are they getting away with literally taking so much from a country, leaving the country poor? You know, they're taking so much, they wouldn't be able to run without all these resources. And then, you know, they make the country like not comfortable for the people that live there. And obviously when these people come and like maybe find refuge and stuff in England, in America, wherever, they're treated like absolute crap. You know, they're treated like scum, when actually, you know, looking at all these people that are going around treating all these people like scum, you wouldn't have light, you wouldn't have electricity, you wouldn't have your car if it weren't for our country. That's the grand fact of it. So you guys need to just stop like acting like you're on top of, you know, you're like the top, you're the best, you're super. No, because honestly, without us, all the resources come from Africa, basically, you know. So just shut up, you know. And if you know, if you don't want us in your country, like leave ours alone. We'll keep our resources, you keep whatever you've got, and let's see what fucking happens. You know, if you don't want, if you don't want anything to do with us, that's fine. But we just want to be left alone. And yeah, and it's not like, oh, the thing is, when you look at history, man, like we walked the world. We walked the world before white man like started walking it. So like all this ownership of countries and stuff. Crazy shit, man. Crazy. It's deep. Yeah, Africa, what the fuck? Your government, that the governments like don't even want to get started on that. Like you guys need to pull your act together. Like you're looking at your people like starving and stuff and giving it away to these idiots that don't know how to use money. You know, they're like literally if they knew how to use it, the world would be a different place. Like this is why I don't bother voting. I'm going to put this candle up here because I was putting it down there for lighting, but I think the voice is the most important. Yeah, voting. So like voting the way I see it, well, for one, there's been how many fucking votes and there's still homelessness, there's still like corruption, like the world is still fucked basically. So whoever's ruling, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just, you know, they either know what they're doing and their agenda is just ultimate destruction and pain and suffering, or they just don't know what they're doing. But basically voting, I just see it as it's one agenda. They branch it out, so they've got them all like kind of looking in different ways, but it's just the same agenda. So they're just trying to tailor it to like suit certain groups. It's basically just changed and twisted a bit. So they change certain group, but whatever you vote, the same shit will happen regardless. Like, that's how I see voting. That's why I don't vote. That's my personal reasons. Don't attack me for it. But yeah. So yeah, like if they haven't been able to sort it out after all this time, like there's still the homelessness and shit, can you just not admit that you just don't know how to rule a country, guys? Like, why can't that just be admitted? Because honestly, it's just the proof is there. The proof is there. We can see it. Like, nothing has been better. So you guys have had your chances. You don't know what the flip you're doing, you know? So time to change. It's really time to change because yeah, like the way it's going, you guys are actually destroying the world, and we haven't got much time left. Like the way you've been running it, it's just ridiculous. It's destruction. It's like you've just gone around destroying shit, and and the thing is, I just can't like. I understand we've all got personal stuff like, you know, rent issues. Like if you can't afford to pay your rent, so we're all distracted with the personal issues that we're all faced with. Like it's really difficult. Like they don't make it easy. Like it's not, food is not even that cheap anymore. Like rent, everything. So it is a constant struggle in our personal lives that we just can't think about the big picture. But the big picture is like, the big picture is the reason why there's so much suffering. Like it's a system why that's the reason why we can't afford to pay our rent. So rather than looking at our individual problems, is like if we look at the big picture, we wouldn't be having these problems without the system being there. If the system wasn't there, if that makes sense, like they're the reason we're suffering, but there's no need for it. So it's just about the way it's been set up. It creates this suffering and then furthermore distracts us from the actual the actual problem, which is actually the West are taking everything. We've got no money left as a race, like black. But yeah, so like we just need to, as black people, we need to be supporting each other, supporting our businesses, like not just so willingly giving our money away to like all these European like businesses, because we don't have much money within our race. Our government is fucking up and giving away all our wealth to like to different countries, you know, to the rich countries. They're just giving away all our resources. So what do we have? Like it needs to change. It really all needs to change. And the way that we can do it individually as people, we can support black owned businesses. We can just stop giving our money back to the people that are destroying our countries, basically. Like I'm so careful where I shop. I'm so careful. I'm sorry. I only want to be supporting black owned, you know, because I understand our situation. Like we're running out of money. We're running out of money, and we need to start building empires. Like start building where we've got our own money to start putting back, you know, into our countries, our race and stuff. Like if I had a chance, if I could talk to all these flipping African government people, all these people that are running Africa, like what are they doing? Like what are they flipping doing? Like how can they just be doing all this, like prioritizing the rich over their own? Like not just that, they're not just prioritizing any country. They're not like helping out other poor countries. They're literally just giving it away to the richest in the world. And then these, you know, it's not like these people care about us. You know, like for instance, like I felt, you know, like we in England was all about, yeah, let's recycle. You know, that's all they're flipping saying. It's like, yeah, you know, and I agree with recycling and stuff. I agreed with it until I found out that majority of our recycling anyway is just dumped illegally in third world countries. That's how much they give a shit about our countries. Like they just dump them illegally on their land, and there's so much waste. And you just know, you know where it's from because it's all these UK brands, you know, American brands, you know, like Sainsbury's, all that shit, Tesco's. They've got all those brands. You can just see it, and you're like, well, we know where that's come from. It's like a blatant rub in the face, like, we were here, you can't do anything about it. So these locals like literally are left with so much waste. They don't know what to do with it because they didn't create this, you know, they don't have the machinery and stuff to like get rid of it appropriately. So they end up burning it. And then this in turn like basically creates health issues, lung issues with the locals because of all the toxic fumes and stuff being coming out of it. So that's what they're doing in the background. Like these are things that we don't really hear much about. Like, but literally England, you're just going around cutting all the trees. Yep, take. Go and get all the oil. Take. And whilst you're doing all that, like Shell, just abuse all throughout history, just abusing the people, the people in their own countries, making it seem like it's just really fucked how they've done it. It's so sneaky because they make it just seem like it's your own fault when actually they're the ones that have literally set up that system. They brought in religion and then created all these like wars and shit, and then just step back and watch it happen. It's like, yeah, I'm going to plonk down this religion that I know will probably cause a lot of wars and battles, and then I'm just going to disappear and then watch and see what happens. They do it in ways where they just start telling one tribe one thing about the other. Oh, so and so said this. It's just a sneaky way that's done, and then turn each other all against each other, and then just watch from the outside pretending to be the good ones when actually they started it. They just want us to be against each other. So like when you really think about it, if we all unite, knowing what we have in our own countries, like, and looked after our own first before so willingly giving out our resources, like we would be the most powerful country in the world, like hands down. Like if we just stopped like all this petty wars about stupid differences. Like we're all the same, guys. Let's really like look at all our cultures and everything. It's so similar. It's all so similar. And the only differences that have been brought in is the differences that white man have come and said have told us that are different, have like introduced different religions to put those divides in, So all these differences have literally been introduced, but we're so similar. Even in the back in the day when we had our own little tribes, like even the way we worshipped, what our religion, we're more just in tune with the earth. That's how we didn't really worship, goddess per se. Like we did, but it was more like the land and stuff. But it's all very similar. The music, everything, culture, the beliefs is so similar. So similar. So we just need to stop hating on each other, like really realize like what the situation is. Like it's not us against, like if we pull ourselves together and just pull ourselves together, we can actually create a really beautiful Africa, a beautiful world, because we don't hate each other. Like I just see every black person, every culture, every tribe, everything I watch on the TV, I'm just like, wow, like I'm just learning so much. Like it's such beautiful cultures, and I can imagine like all merging, like even with Asia. I love Asia, like Asian cultures and stuff, but like we just need to like pull ourselves together, guys, because this has been going on for too long. And obviously like I've said, it's just they've had so many chances to kind of just say, to prove themselves, but they can't run countries. They can't. So Africa, we just need to start doing shit on our own, like building our own businesses, start reinvesting into our own, regardless of where you're from in Africa. Just be like, look, I'm like, if it's Africa, Jamaica, Asia, just support our own. Let's just stop going into Primark and, all this shit, all these stupid shops. Like I haven't shopped on the high streets for like years, because it's just a ploy. You're putting our money back into their pockets. That's how, it's a tangle, isn't it? It's a tangle. But yeah, guys, so it's just I think the message really of this is just to start really thinking where you're spending your money, where you're dropping your money, how willingly we're just like, regardless of, I understand it's a struggle, but that's the very least we can be doing, is like thinking about where our money is going, where we're investing, because everything we pay for basically is an investment. That's the way I see it, is investing in someone's future. And I'd rather invest in our own, because our own, like, we haven't got much money left, guys. Like in about 30 years or something, like there's going to be like no money in the black community. And then what we're going to do, that's when I don't even want to think about that. So we need to really be thinking about about this a bit more vividly because it's actually quite serious. It's very serious. And I don't want our own to just like, don't want to even think the worst. I'm not going to think the worst. I always think positive, but sometimes you've got to think the worst to make the change, if that makes sense. But yeah, just think about where you're investing your money. Think about, yeah, that's basically it. What we can do for the community, what we can do to grow up the unity too, unity, because that's a really big issue. I think it's the divide that's the issue, and we need to start really thinking what is the reasons for the divide, what's the real reasons. It's not just about money or all that stuff, like why. And I think it's literally just the fact that we've lost knowledge of who we are as a people. Like the introduction of Western culture has really messed up our values, our morals and everything. And we need to start really finding out who we are and getting those back, because we're fine, we're beautiful people and we can all work together and we all want to just support each other and look after each other. But at the moment we don't know who we are. So we need to just start really, all these posts I'm posting about self-love and stuff, it's all for a reason. Because once you start loving yourself and knowing and finding out more about yourself, then it starts all falling into place and making sense. And you find you can love so much more freely, so much more like unconditionally. And I think that's what the world's missing right now. And we all need to be like joining up as a people, loving each other, supporting each other again. Because when we're working against each other, it's only making that climb so much harder. Together, we're so much stronger. We're so much stronger. And I do believe we can do this, but we need to just first, it's work with yourself as an individual, work with looking after yourself, looking after your mind, and you'll see what will happen from there. But yeah, I'm not going to talk so much anymore. Sorry for the ramble, but it's really early in the morning. Yeah, that's all I could talk more, but I think I'm just going to keep this short and snappy, and I'll do another more cheerful video later on. But I do love you all. Let's just keep on fighting for unity and empowerment and stuff, because we've got it. We've got it always all there. It's just our minds aren't there. We just need to get our minds there, and then it'll be fine. But yeah, I'll see you. Okay, bye.